Many of you like this fella Trey Gawdy, right? You've seen him at the IRS hearings. He's a former assistant U.S. attorney, I believe, very effective. But sadly, turns out he's a rhino. Yes, he is. Mr. Gawdy, yes, you are. And I'll prove it. Caroline May, writing at the Daily Caller. At a House subcommittee hearing today, lawmakers considered a proposal to offer a pathway to citizenship. I hate this phrase. For immigrants brought to the United States as children. Here's Mr. Gawdy. You ready? South Carolina Republican. Quote, when children wander into neighborhood yards, we don't call that trespassing. When children cry and yell and scream at restaurants or on airplanes, we don't call that a violation of the noise ordinance, said South Carolina Republican Representative Trey Gawdy, chairman of the subcommittee on immigration and border security, said at the outset of the hearing on addressing, it goes on and on and on. When children eat a grape at the grocery store, eat a piece of candy waiting in line before mom or dad pays for it, we don't have them arrested for petty larceny, he said. Children can't sign contracts, vote, purchase certain items, or even work in some instances because the law treats children differently. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Gawdy. Does this apply to all crimes? If a parent commits tax fraud or embezzles, and they're convicted and they're sentenced to prison, should we take the children out of the home and give them to foster parents or have the state raise them? Is that fair? They haven't committed a crime, have they, Mr. Gawdy? Some of these children, quote-unquote, are now in their 30s, late 20s. In other words, they're not children anymore. And besides all this, Mr. Gawdy, isn't this the cart before the horse, as we say? Shouldn't you be working as the chairman of this subcommittee on border security first and foremost, so we don't have more children coming across the border, Mr. Gawdy? I thought you were a law enforcement guy. Apparently not so much. Majority Leader Eric Cantor and House Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte have reportedly been working on legislation to order a path to legalization for illegal immigrants brought to the United States as children. And you know what they're going to call it? The Kids Act, because they learned from the liberals. Just surround yourself with kids. And even if you don't have kids, just say the Kids Act. There's another class of unlawfully present aliens, a class of individuals who deserve to be considered from a different perspective, Goodlatte said at the hearing. I'm talking about aliens brought here as children by their parents. They had no input into their parents' decision. Well, no child has input into their parents breaking any laws, Mr. Goodlatte. You're the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. Do you even know what committee you are chairman of, sir? And many of them know no other home than the United States, having grown up as Americans since they were toddlers in some instances. Well, ladies and gentlemen, they're caving now. Here you go. This is just the beginning. Just the beginning. So the Democrats are pulling at heartstrings, the Republicans are pulling at heartstrings, and nobody wants to secure the border. Right, Mr. Goodlatte? You've been there a long time. You're chairman of the Judiciary Committee in the House. What have you done, Mr. Goodlatte, to secure the border? Do you know what's going on the border? Do you know about the crime and the drugs and the kidnapping, Mr. Goodlatte? How about you, Mr. Gawdy? Are you familiar with it? And what are you doing about it? The DREAM Act? Is that going to fix it? Why is that your priority and not securing the border? You're not deporting these once children. So why is this the priority and not the safety of the American people, Mr. Gawdy and Mr. Goodlatte and Mr. Cantor and Mr. Boehner and the rest of you? Democratic members of the panel took issue with the idea that the House might not extend a more comprehensive path. Of course, because they're never going to be satisfied on the left. It's not a matter of addressing a problem. So here we have the Republicans proposing their own DREAM Act, which was defeated a few years ago, before securing the border. And the Democrats, they see them as the saps that they are. They're laughing every step of the way, and they're pushing for more. So the Democrat members took issue with the idea that the House might not extend a more comprehensive path, one that does not assist the parents of the children who might be legalized. That's right. We can't separate families, so we have the children. And they're not children for the most part anymore, folks. Notice the language. They were brought here when they were children. Well, what about their parents? Well, good point. Can't break up families. And what about the grandparents and the uncles and the aunts and the cousins? We can't break up people. Quote, we want to tell the DREAM Act children that they can stay, but we don't know about your parents, your sisters, and your brothers, said Texas Democratic Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. What value is it if you tell DREAM Act children that they can stay, but we tell them not to honor their mothers and fathers. Legalizing only the Dreamers is not enough, Illinois Democratic Representative Luis Gutierrez said, and he's testifying as a witness during the hearing. Dreamers will, now they're dreamers. They're dreamers. See, you and I, we're the scum of the earth. We're Tea Party. But these people are dreamers. They're good. We're bad. Dreamers will not settle for what is good for them unless they can also win what is good for their families. Right, the entire family. Iowa Republican Steve King dared to express concern about the relatively one-sided nature of the witnesses. So here we have a Republican committee, Gawdy, Mr. Tough Guy on the IRS, Mr. Weakling when it comes to the border, Tough Guy IRS, Weakling border. They have a witness list, you see, that is one-sided. The fact that there was not yet language of a bill to even consider, said King. We don't have a bill before us, ladies and gentlemen, so we can't look at the language of the bill and take a position on the language. So here we go, folks. You'll know it when we vote on it. We're here today examining the concept, the philosophy of a potential bill that's not yet before us. This is the opposite of order of the way we usually conduct business, he said, wondering out loud if the proposal could be a way to backdoor amnesty. Yes, it is, Congressman King. And don't you know, ladies and gentlemen, every child brought here illegally who's now in their 20s and 30s is noble and virtuous. Oh, yes. Not a single problem among them. You, on the other hand, you on the other hand, you won't have enough skin in the game. You don't pay enough taxes. Yes, you on the other hand. Moments before King spoke, Florida Democratic Representative Joe Garcia chastised King for comments he made to Newsmax last week. When members of this committee, when members of this House use inflammatory language, use offensive language, it does not help the process. When members of this House use language such as for everyone that is a valedictorian, there's another 100 out there who weigh 130 pounds and they've got hands the size of cantaloupes because... Jeez. Oh, boy. Jeez. I don't think I'll read the rest. Now, after the hearing... I'm sorry. Steve, word of advice. Why do you have to say that stuff? Honestly. I'm not dumping on you. Don't get me wrong. I'm just making a point. And his point is these aren't all little infants. We're talking about a lot of people who are much older now, who are grown-ups. We call them adults. After the hearing, Chris Crane, president of an Immigration and Customs Enforcement Union, called on House members to work with ICE officers as they move forward with their proposal.